And we stay on that story. Taiwan saying this year's war games due in July will see troops preparing at all levels for a potential Chinese invasion in 2027. China sees Taiwan as part of its territory and has vowed to seize control by force if that is necessary. Defense officials in Taiwan submitting a report to Parliament today with a plan based on what they call China's grey zone intrusions and also a possible intrusion in 2 years, invasion in 2 years, with the goal of ensuring troops are combat ready. This follows a report that Taipei is seeking closer military ties with the United States. CNA's Victoria Jen looks at how the island is trying to strike a balance in its reliance on Washington.
There has been growing concerns among many Taiwanese that whether or not the U.S. will continue to support Taiwan the way that it has always been. And this comes especially after the recent fallout between Ukrainian President Zelensky and U.S. President Donald Trump. Now, the incident has raised concerns among many Taiwanese that whether or not the U.S. would come to Taiwan's aid if the war was to break out between Taiwan and China. Now, in fact, a recent survey shows that more than 50% of Taiwanese, they don't believe that the U.S. would come to Taiwan's rescue if a war breaks out across the Taiwan Strait. So many are urging the DPP government not to pull all eggs in the U.S. basket. But having said that, the DPP government still insisted that it is important for Taiwan to continue its military cooperations with the U.S., especially it's going to further deepen its cooperation. Now, this comes especially after China has increased its military activities around the island, and not to mention the daily military incursions of warplanes and vessels by China. So in order to secure U.S. support for Taiwan, President William Lai has pledged to increase Taiwan's military spending to more than 3% of Taiwan's GDP. That is a record from the current 2.5%, even though it's still much lower than what the Trump has asked for, which is 10%. But it goes to show that Taiwan is trying its best to try to comply with the U.S. demand. So, but analysts are saying that they are worried this is going to further provoke China and it's going to further complicate the matters for future cross-strait relations.